Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching NDTV. The Chief Minister of Karnataka, Siddaramaiah, a pivotal figure in Congress party's success in Karnataka and also an important phase in the Congress's social justice promise, is facing mounting pressure, social pressure, political pressure to resign following a special court's order on Wednesday directing the Lokayukta police to investigate the Muda site allotment case. Now, the ruling, as we know, paves the way for an FIR against Siddaramaiah, and that poses not just a significant challenge to his leadership, but also to the party's political strategy in the state. Today, MPs, legislators and former elected representatives of the opposition BJP staged a protest in Bengaluru demanding the CM's resignation. BJP State Unit President B.Y. Vijayendra, who's also the leader of opposition in Assembly, R. Ashok, and leader of opposition in the Council, Chalavadi Narayan Swamy, were seen amongst those who took part in this protest in front of the Mahatma Gandhi statue in the premises of the Vidhan Sauda in Bengaluru. Now, the protesters, of course, were taken into custody by the police. Meanwhile, the Chief Minister, who has till now battled away demands for his resignation, asserting that he will fight the case and win, has now accused the BJP and Janata Dal Secular, JDS, of a conspiracy to weaken the Congress government. Today again, he said that he is ready for a probe, but he will not quit. Now, how will the Congress handle this dilemma? As of now, the Congress leadership seems to be backing Siddaramaiah, but will that change as the course of investigation fastens? Will this dent on Siddaramaiah help the BJP or not? This is what we will discuss today. Joining me now is a panel of experts. But first, let's look at some reactions to this story.
ಕುಮಾರಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಯಾವ ಮಂತ್ರಿಮಂಡಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದು? ಯಾರು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಮುಖ್ಯ ಪ್ರಧಾನಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳು? ಯಾವ ಪಕ್ಷದ ಸರ್ಕಾರ? ಅವ್ರು ಕೊಡಬೇಕಲ್ಲ ಮೊದಲು.
I don't think any court will interfere with such type of issues, because they know that still the opportunity has not to be. It can't be looked at a political angle. It has to be looked at where law remains. I think all court will definitely, they will just look at in a legal angle.
In spite of High Court order for prosecution, when he is not ready for resignation, even Public Representatives Court also yesterday they have directed to register an FIR. Even he is not ready for his resignation. So he speaks always about ethics. And also he speaks always about, the people, whoever they're in power.
See, we continue to maintain that the order of the governor is politically motivated and illegal. And there are enough factual circumstances to lead us to believe so. Therefore, that will have to be presented before a higher bench. And the judgment of the learned single judge has failed to consider these aspects of the matter in the right perspective. This is our firm view. And application of mind is not just limited to the governor, but applies in equal force to the Honorable High Court as well.
So we have Mohan Vishwa, who's the spokesperson of the BJP. We have Samrudh Hegde, who's the spokesperson of the Congress party. And we also have Sandeep Shastri, who is from Lokniti Network. Thank you all of you for joining me on this show. Starting with you, Professor Shastri, you are the senior most person who has known Karnataka so well. Sir, Siddaramaiah is known to have a strong appeal amongst the Ahinda communities, which is minorities, backwards, and also Dalits. And he's also, in some ways has this reputation of being a seasoned administrator. Do you see all of that changing with these allegations? Because the court's observations have also been strong. The Lokayukta has been given a green signal. So the doors of the investigation are opening up. So clearly, do you see this impacting that image of his?
Vasudha, there are multiple factors and we need to separate them. I think what has strongly gone against the Chief Minister is the denting of an image which was built up for so many years of not having such charges leveled against him. Now that, I think, is where the challenge comes. The fact that he is a recognized Ahinda leader, the fact that he has been in politics for long. No, those are, for me, corollary issues. But the principal point, I think, is the point that he now faces a challenge which he has not faced in his political career till now. And what is happening in the politics of the state, I think you have the inevitable necessities of being in the opposition and doing certain things. You have the natural corollary of being in the government and taking certain defenses. I can quote you, Vasudha, examples in the past where all the three parties, BJP, Congress, and JDS, when they were in power, they took a particular stand, and when they were in opposition, they took a diametrically opposite stand. So that reality of politics will always happen. And I am more looking at the image of the chief minister suffering a dent, and how all these developments are pushing to the background, both in terms of the focus and in terms of action, the whole question of governance in the state, which unfortunately both the ruling party and the opposition are not giving due attention to.
Right. Mr. Hegde, let me ask that question to you, sir. And also let me just quote something from what the court said yesterday. Too bleak contention that the petitioner was not behind everything, standing just behind the curtain. It's not behind the smoke screen, but behind the curtain even. And the connection of dots would require an inquiry or an investigation in the least. So clearly, while this does not open the doors for immediate prosecution, this calls for an investigation. And that is an embarrassment for the Congress, isn't it? And like Professor Shastri was also saying, what kind of impact will it have on governance? Isn't it better for the party, for the CM to maybe just step down and let law take its course, the investigation take its course, and governance also not be affected by it?
So firstly, as an Indian and as an advocate, I'm mighty impressed by the speed of the judicial process that has taken place, and we must all be proud of that. And coming to the issues that you spoke about, the referral for investigation is but a natural step after the order of the High Court. Let us not forget that the order of the High Court is appealable. We have our appeal remedies, and the order of the High Court may not be final or fatal. So that being said, in a petition that has been challenging the order of grant of prior approval by the Honorable Governor, there has been a lot of fact-finding and a lot of observations made, which has a chance to prejudice trial. So we also are going to exercise our remedy, and we stand by our contentions that we made in the writ petition and our legal prepositions. There is no question of resignation, because we are at the very threshold of the criminal jurisprudence. And also speaking about it, the judgment does not make any mention of any specific overt act, decision taken, or recommendation made by the Honorable Chief Minister. There is a span of 30 years of devolution of land, and there is not mention of a single act. The needle of suspicion is the needle of a needle in a haystack. So at the current situation, there is no question of resignation. We will exercise our remedy. And there has also been a reference to investigation under section 156(3) to the Lokayukta police. There is no question of us being scared of any investigation. But we also, the one very funny aspect is that I saw on your visuals that the people of the BJP, the legislators of the BJP who are protesting, all of them have criminal cases against them. There was a statement by Mr. Janardhan Reddy. There's a charge sheet filed against him. And for him to have come and given a statement about the rule of law and morality and ethics, I find that quite funny.
Right. Mohan Mishra, that's a very important detail that Mr. Hegde has also pointed out, because today Siddaramaiah also spoke about H.D. Kumaraswamy, and corruption is not a new thing. Allegations of corruption are not a new issue in Karnataka. In fact, 40% Sarkara was something that the whole campaign was centered around, and we all know that all of these issues do have resonance, but we're not sure if this has complete sort of resonance. How sure are you that this is going to be the final nail in the coffin for the Congress party in Karnataka?
See, good evening, Vasudha. If you see the argument which has happened in High Court, All these things, whatever my Congress person said here, has been discussed in detail and argued from their side. And we know what is the verdict finally. Come on, let's not discuss the same old thing which was discussed in the court for 8 to 10 days, even after hours of discussion with the judgment has been given. And also, I was, my friend said that, Mrs. Janardhan Reddy, who's having a criminal charges or who's out on bail, is not having any morality to question Siddaramaiah. Then what morality Mr. Rahul Gandhi has? Whenever he goes across the country, he questions what Prime Minister Modi ji on several issues. Even he is out on bail. His mother is out on bail. Most of them are out on bail. Even DK Shivkumar, DCM of the state, he himself is out on bail. Come on, there is an allegation against misappropriation of asset and disproportionate of income against him. What morality he has? Let's not talk about the morality now. The issue here is, if you see the Congress, it has been 55 hours since the judgment has been come. What did Mr. Siddaramaiah say initially? He said he will cooperate for the investigation. But what he is doing from yesterday onwards, even though Lokayukta is an independent agency, the Lokayukta police reports to the Home Department, the Lokayukta police themselves phones are switched off. The petitioners who have given the complaint have gone to Lokayukta police and they're not receiving the phone at all. They're not receiving the complaint also. They're not registered an FIR. Today evening, there was an FIR has been made even after 55 hours. This is how they are behaving. One side, he says he will cooperate for investigation. Other sides, he do this. At the same time, you see in the evening, they've taken a cabinet decision of withdrawing general consent given to CBI in the year 2005. 19 years back. Then what is making them to face investigation? And my friend said they're not scared of investigation. If they're not scared of investigation, why did they withdraw the general consent given to CBI in 2005? Come on. Okay. These are all the double standards which Congress has been following for several decades. In the present case also, it is crystal clear that whenever the fraud cycle happened between 1998 to 2017, for almost 19 years, Mr. Siddaramaiah was in power.
Okay. Let me take that to Mr. Hegde. Mr. Hegde, the matter could have been, like many are saying, nipped in the bud had the CM taken a stand that he was not aware of what really happened, the land dealings, and if the irregularities were found in the allotment of sites, he would surrender those sites. Why do you think that didn't happen? Do you think the CM could have handled it better?
No, not at all. What we questioned in the writ petition was, we are not scared of it. Firstly, let me clarify that we're not scared of any investigation. But the investigation has to happen in accordance with law. So when we have a Prevention of Corruption Act and when there's a provision under 17A that has been granted wrongly, in our opinion, that we will put forth in the appeal, that the investigation should follow the law and the manner in which it should be conducted. It should follow the rule of law. So in the present case, what we're looking at is, let me educate your friend also that there was a delay in registering FIR. Sorry, sir, the order was uploaded just now. It takes a day for the order to get uploaded. And once the order is sent by the court to the Lokayukta police, only then action can be taken. No Tom, Dick and Harry can take a random small order which has been uploaded online and go and get a FIR registered. We also, regarding the issue of the CBI, I remember we are governed by the Constitution. We are partly federal and partly unitary. And the Delhi Special Police Establishment Act grants a specific power to the state.
Okay. I'm completely out of time, Mr. Hegde. Let me just take this last word from Professor Shastri. Professor Shastri, do you see the support of the Congress party that we've been witnessing? They seem to be backing Siddaramaiah right now, but do you see that continuing? Do you see that in some ways coming down? Because this looks like to be a long-drawn legal case.
Vasudha, both these spokespersons are eminent legal experts and have tried to put the law and the legal perspective. But for me, much more than a legal perspective is the political reality on the ground. I think as of now, the Congress will very much defend the Chief Minister, because any other stand would appear to be of buckling down to the opposition. But I think as this case proceeds, it will be important to see as to how the government responds, the Chief Minister responds, the party responds. And I think over time, and time here I don't mean the immediate month or 2 months, I think over time there may be a discussion on leadership change depending on how the situation unfolds
Right.
in the coming weeks and months.
Right. Thank you all of you for joining me on this show. Karnataka High Court pointing a needle of suspicion at the Chief Minister, but Congress calling it a political conspiracy by the BJP, and the BJP steadfast on its demands of resignation of the Chief Minister. That is the Muda case that clearly is here for a long time to ruffle more feathers. We'll keep getting that and more for you.